Good evening, guys. This is Working, bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a great evening. Man, what a hell of a 48 hours, right? In crypto. It's been exciting, man. This is why I love this space. Anyway, let's dig right in, guys. We're looking at BTC to the US dollar 4-hour chart on Coinbase. And yesterday I said, guys, we were looking at more than likely our third wave. We were trying to find the top, this being 1, 2, and 3. Price was sitting around 7,450, somewhere thereabouts. Yesterday I told you that more than likely, I said I think we're going to see one more push up to see the top of that third wave. I didn't think the third wave was in quite yet. I said it may come up to about 7,700. It didn't quite make it there. It got to about 7,600, depending on which exchange you're at, before it started to correct. And now we're starting to correct, guys, and this is going to be the test for Bitcoin. And this is going to see if the bulls are really back or if this has just been manipulation and we're just heading right back down to where we were. Can Bitcoin hold these gains? Well, let's dig in and kind of see what we can find out here. All right, so going from our swing high to swing low. So this is our 1, 2, this is our top of 3. So now we're looking for the bottom of our fourth wave. Where is this going to correct? Well, let's see if we can get some ideas here. If we go swing low to swing high, let me get that right on there. You can see, let me zoom in here. You can see that the market is still showing structure, which this is good. This is positive. Why do I say that? Because look, here's the 236 fib. You can see that price just nailed it. I mean, just couldn't be any more perfect. Hit the 236. Perfect hit. Okay. And then the bulls pushed it right back up, which is a bullish sign. Tells me they're still fighting, so we're getting structure. The bulls are still here. Even though these are some bearish-looking candles, guys, this is still, this latest one, if I zoom in, actually, this latest one, this nice little hammer, it almost looks like it's about to come back up. So, I think more than likely we're looking at what? We're looking at, where's the top? Right in here. Okay, possibly something like this, possibly an A, B, C. And the question is, where is the bottom of C? Where is C going to go? Let me zoom back out. Get rid of that so you guys get. I think more than likely, guys, more than likely we're going to retrace, in my opinion, to at least the 382, at least about the $7,000 range, 7 to 715. 7010 or 7000, somewhere thereabouts, guys. I think is at least where we're going to retrace to. Doesn't mean we can't. If this 236 ends up holding and we get an impulse off that, that's going to just be extremely bullish. Then we're off to the races. But I don't think that's going to happen, guys. We may get one more tick up, creating this being our A. We may get one more tick up for our B, and then back down for the C. So where is that going to hit? In my opinion, I think it's going to be somewhere in this area, somewhere between the 382 and the 0.5. Excuse me. We may come back down here and test this neckline of the inverted head and shoulders, so somewhere around 6,800, 6,850, somewhere around there, all the way up to around 7,015 to 7,000. Somewhere in that area, guys, I think it is a good bet that we're going to retrace down to that level. Excuse me. Once that happens, especially if it comes back down and hits the neckline of the inverted head and shoulders, I'd be looking for a nice bounce. If we don't get that bounce, or if it just kind of starts to consolidate and meander right on top of that, that's going to be kind of a bearish sign, guys. And then we may be looking for it to topple back down. But if it comes down, get a couple little bounces, maybe a double bottom, and then head back up, that's going to be a rather bullish sign. So let's just wait and see how this plays out. Now, from a bear perspective, remember, guys, this is still a downtrend. The bears are still looking at this as a retracement from a downtrend. So I mean, we can look at this and we can say, if you guys remember, I was talking about my bearish count quite a while ago, and I said, this could easily be looked at, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I said, this being a shortened fifth, that would make sense. That would make sense if we were going into a trend change. So we had a nice shortened fifth, denoting weakness for the bear market, and now switching over to a possible bull market. That would it certainly makes sense. So, but still, it doesn't mean that we have switched over to a bull market. Not yet. In this thing, this is still being viewed as for algos. Remember, you're trading against mostly algos, not human beings. And algos are still picking targets down in here. So let's go from our swing high to swing low. And that was right around 74, or I think it was at 57.50 or somewhere thereabouts. Okay, so swing high to swing low, we can see that it's just inside this 382. We're on the 4-hour chart. Price is just inside this 382. It did break through. It did break through, but obviously it's starting to respect this 382. And now, actually, let me pull it out on the daily and see what this looks like on the daily. Okay, yeah. Look at this on the daily. I mean, this is it only penetrated the 382 by just a wick. I mean, really so far by just a wick. No more than that. So that, again, that's showing me market structure, but in the opposite direction. So, this truly is a battle between the bulls and the bears. They are fighting. They are both fighting hard. The Bears want to maintain control. The Bulls are trying to take control. They've taken, short term, but not long term, not yet. We could view this, if these are 5 waves down, what would we expect as a correction? Well, we'd expect an ABC. Do we have an ABC? Well, looks like an ABC to me. Yeah, we got an ABC. So that being the case, and if this is the top of that C wave, algos are starting to pick targets down here. So if I go, let's see. Where would they be looking at? If I use this whole entire retracement, we go from the latest swing low to swing high. I mean, algos are picking targets right around in this 618. They're picking targets around 6,400 or thereabouts, at least for that first push, just that first push. Then come back up and back down. Doesn't mean that's going to happen, but it does mean that the bears or the bulls are about to get tested. They are being tested right now. So this is an epic battle, guys. This really is, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this ends up. Oh, sorry about that. See how this ends up playing out. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so let's look at our indicators here. Let's see what they're doing. Looking at the daily again. RSI is looking, it's not oversold yet, or excuse me, it's not overbought yet. We're sitting at right around 60, almost 70. So looking good, looking fairly bullish. We're looking at the stock RSI is rather overbought. May start correcting, but we're not there yet. Again, this is the daily though. This is only the daily. Looking at the MACD are both looking extremely bullish. Trend and signal line. Let's just zoom in here to the 4-hour. See what we can see. Let's see. 4-hour histogram starting to go a little bit sideways. Trend line looking like the MACD line actually is curling over. So again, we may get a correction here, at least short term. RSI is definitely overbought. We're sitting at right around 80. So that's, again, supporting the fact that we're reinforcing the idea that we are likely going to see a pullback. Stock RSI showing the same. So yeah, let me zoom in here and see what we can see on the hourly. And yeah, looking at the hourly, doesn't look nothing too impressive actually. Actually, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, looking at it, we are probably going to see a correction, guys. I mean, and let me get rid of this. We don't need this right now. Let me collapse this and just make this bigger. Stand by 1 second, guys. All right, guys, sorry about that. Went ahead and drew it out just to save some time. We can see there's clear if we draw an arrow from this low point to the high point on the chart. Do the same thing on the RSI, and what do we have? We have very clear bearish divergence, and this is on the hourly. If this was on the 4-hour or the daily, I'd be more concerned. But this is on the hourly, which just means we're denoting possibly a healthy correction. So we're not seeing on anything else, but we are on the hourly RSI. So, is what it is. Let's wait and see how this ends up playing out, guys. It's corrections are healthy. Corrections are to be expected. Corrections are needed. We've got to, it's got to consolidate. It's just, the question is, where is this thing heading? And as of right now, I believe. Let me get rid of this. I don't believe it. This is my bearish count. We don't want that. And as of right now, I believe we're still looking at a 1, 2. Obviously, this is the 3. I think the 4 is going to come right into this area and then head back up. If we are in the uptrend and if the bulls can maintain the shorter term control. Now, let's remember, guys, don't get lost in the trees and forget the forest. We are still in a larger downtrend, even though we're in a shorter term uptrend. We are still in a larger downtrend. My primary count still has us in an A, B, C, D, E. In other words, once we hit this descending resistance line, if it even gets up there, once we hit this descending resistance line, I'm not seeing the volume quite yet to justify a longer term uptrend. In other words, I think that right now my bias is we're going to hit this descending resistance and come back down for an E wave. It doesn't mean that's going to happen. I'm not spreading any kind of FUD. I'm just saying, I just want you guys to know, I want you guys to be prepared if this does end up happening. And right now, that is my bias. I'm about 60% that's going to 55, 60% that this is what's going to happen, guys. That we're going to hit this descending resistance somewhere around 77, somewhere between 77 and 8,000, and then we're going to come back down for our E wave to complete our WXY pattern. And from there, I think we're going to head off to the races. But in the meantime, I'm still forecasting a possible one more wave down. Now, if we break this descending resistance, then I'm going to get extremely optimistic. If we can break this prior high of the B wave of above 10,000, at that point I'm going to be all in for the bulls. But we're not there yet, guys. We're not there. It doesn't mean we're not going to get there. We're just not there yet. All right, looking at the daily, go ahead and hide this to kind of you guys get a little better look. And this, looking at the daily chart, we've got the 200-day EMA is sitting up here in purple. The orange is the 100-day EMA, and the pink is the 55-day EMA. On the daily, we can see that we've risen above the 55-day EMA. I told you yesterday that's extremely bullish. We closed above there, which also is extremely bullish. We can see that now price is finding resistance at the 100-day EMA. If we can break above that, that's going to continue to show, it's going to be a very, very, very bullish sign. We're not there yet. In fact, we're getting a rejection, so I would expect it to come back. If we can find resistance at the 55-day EMA and then a push back up, that's going to also be very, very bullish, guys. But right now, we're seeing it. It almost looks like almost looking like an inverted hammer, or actually, it'd be for the bearish point of view, it'd be a shooting star candle on the daily right now, and that's a bearish sign. It doesn't mean that we are going to turn completely bear, but it does mean we're probably looking at a short-term correction. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there, guys. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. Of course, I always appreciate an upvote or a re-steam. And until next time, guys, please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.